On this week's edition of the Left Bench TV, a look inside Maryland women's basketball's hot streak.
He's the biggest wrestler in College Park. He might be the best too. Also, the gymnastics team hit the mats for the first time. A first look at this year's team.
Think you have good balance? I'm Danielle Stein, and I'm going to show you how one sport is going to change everything. The fall semester is coming to a close here at UMD, but the winter season is still in session. Welcome to this edition of the Left Bench TV. I'm Danielle Stein.
And I'm Alex Flum. The women's basketball team is rolling 8 consecutive wins for the Terps. Brendan Hartlove was at the Xfinity Center Monday night as they took down Loyola. Brendan?
Thanks, Alex. Rolling would be an understatement. A historic night here at the Xfinity Center as the Terps just took down Loyola 114-45. Maryland takes the court looking to extend its 7-game win streak. Early on, pressure from Blair Watson wins the ball back, and it finds its way to Aisha Small for the easy layup. Point guard Shanice Lewis storming down the court, she kicks it out to Kristen Confroy, and the senior nails the three-pointer. Sarah Myers now finds Aisha Small, who pulls up from the top of the key for the easy jumper. She had 13 points on the night. Later in the second quarter, Bree Frazier at the low post finds Kristen Confroy storming the lane for the smooth layup. Final minutes of the first half now. Blair Watson leading the charge for Maryland. She dishes it to Shanice Lewis behind the arc, and the freshman drains the shot from downtown. Second half now, Confroy threads into the lane for Kyla Charles, who dumps it low to Frazier for the uncontested layup. Later on, Blair Watson comes off the screen, pulls up from distance, got it! A career-high 24 points for the sophomore. Maryland tops Loyola 114-45, moving to 10-2 on the season. I'm now joined by women's basketball beat reporter Sean Mahoney. So Sean, the Terps scored 114 points tonight, very dominant on offense. They were led by Blair Watson.
Yeah, she was terrific tonight. 24 points, a career high from her, and she hit 6 threes, which was a season high for her as well. She really leads the offense and gives them a threat outside and in, and you could see her leading the Terps offense and keeping up the prolific scoring as the season goes on.
So that prolific scoring has been a recent trend for the Terps. Our Max Marcilla took a look at the Maryland offense.
3-pointers and dime dropping. Maryland women's basketball has been on an offensive tear.
I love the unselfishness that we played with today. And when you see, we have so many weapons on this team that we can do a lot of exciting things together.
The Terps have 5 players averaging double digits and have reached the century mark twice this season. The facilitator, freshman point guard Shanice Lewis, set a career high with 11 assists against Loyola.
I feel way comfortable now than I did in the beginning of the season. Each practice I'm getting better and getting comfortable with each plays.
I thought this was Shanice's best command floor general game that she could have had. Just how she pushed tempo and ran the team tonight that's fun.
Kyla Charles, Stephanie Jones, and Blair Watson as a trio have nearly doubled their combined scoring average from last year.
We're not the same team that we were the first game of the season, and we're getting better each day. And I'm just excited to see what we bring to the table when conference do start.
And Maryland's offensive tear may not slow down anytime soon. Florida transfer Eliana Kristanaki, who has sat out all year due to NCAA transfer rules, will play her first game as a Terp on December 20th.
My personal goal is that I need to adjust to the team in the middle of the season and help this adjustment to be very smoothly for everybody.
The offense put together its best showing against Loyola, dishing out 37 assists, a Maryland basketball record.
We've had no team do that, to understand just, what that means in terms of what they did tonight.
For the Left Bench TV, I'm Max Marcilla.
Thanks, Max. Looking ahead, the women's basketball team will have more than a week off for finals. Then they'll be back in action on the 20th at Coppin State. They'll then start Big Ten play against Illinois and take on Penn State in State College on New Year's Eve. Players on the women's basketball team have been accomplishing some pretty exciting things on and off the court. Senior guard Kristen Confroy got her first acceptance into medical school at Wake Forest University. Big news for her, and here's the moment the team found out.
Everybody, I got into med school.
We're rich! We're rich! We're rich!
Okay. Confroy is still waiting to hear back from a few other schools, so no final decision at this point. Convoy has played significant minutes on the team since her freshman year. This year, she leads the team in three-point shooting and has provided important leadership on and off the court.
Just 12 games into the year, it has been a roller coaster of a season for the men's basketball team. 9 wins and 3 close losses. Terps running out to take on Gardner-Webb on Saturday afternoon. Anthony Cowan getting on the board early with a nice floater. Sophomore posted 10 points. A bit later, Kevin Herter finding Daryl Morcell for an end one. Then Morcell giving us more dunks. The elevation from the freshman. Team high 18 points off the bench for Morcell. In the second half, redshirt freshman Joshua Tomajic putting in some work. A career high 8 points for him. Terps take down the running Bulldogs 82-60.
I just like the way we shared the ball. I like how we got better defensively. And even though they were small, we stayed big. And I didn't worry about matchups and their speed and all that and just let guys play through it.
We now welcome men's basketball beat reporter Zach Selby into the studio. Zach, thank you for joining us. Daryl Morcell has been special for the Terps as a freshman. What has he brought to the table so far this year?
Well, it has been special. I mean, Daryl is a playmaker. He's a star in the making. He kind of has the same skill set as Anthony Cowan, which is pretty high praise considering the season that he's having. But he has been a little inconsistent at times. He comes out against Purdue and, doesn't really have a good game. But he bounces back against Gardner-Webb and has 18 points. So it has been a little bit of an up and down season, but I think that will improve as he matures. And then you look at his fellow freshman, Bruno Fernando. I mean, this guy is all over the court, going nuts, bringing so much energy to the team. What has he shown so far? Well, anytime you have someone as, big and strong as Bruno Fernando, you're going to miss him whenever he's gone with that ankle injury. But I think they have enough offensive scorers, with Justin Jackson and Kevin Herter, that they'll be able to fill the load while he's out. But I think the thing that they're going to miss the most while he's out is the energy, the morale that he brings whenever he's on the court. Whenever he checks in, the crowd gets a little more hype, the players play a little better. His influence goes beyond whatever the stat sheet show, and I think that's what they're going to be lacking when he's on the bench. And, at some points this season, the Terps have looked very strong. At some points, they've struggled and struggled to close out games. When they get into the bulk of that Big Ten schedule, do you think they're going to have trouble with that? Well, that's the big question. I mean, are they going to make a splash in their own conference? And I think the answer to that largely stems on the turnovers that they've been having this season. They rank near the bottom of the Big Ten in the turnover margin, and they commit around 20 turnovers a game. And I think if they continue to have that high of a number, no, they're not going to be able to beat these teams on a consistent level. But I think that if they can somehow get that number down and play smarter basketball, they're going to be one of the best teams in the conference going down the road. All right, well, thank you, Zach. Make sure to keep up with all of Zach's coverage at theleftbench.com. Looking ahead for Mark Turgeon and company, Catholic University will make the trip up from D.C. Tuesday before the finals break, then matchups with Fairleigh Dickinson and UMBC. Big Ten play will resume in the new year against Penn State.
Wrestling faced 7th-ranked Iowa on Saturday, which proved to be a challenge for Maryland. Iowa took 9 of 10 bouts and racked up 36 combined takedowns while holding the Terps to just 2. Maryland's point came from the 10th-ranked heavyweight Yusuf Hamida, who won his bout on a forfeit.
It's December 10th, and a lot of these guys, it's the first time ever wrestling against Iowa, and you grow up thinking about Iowa wrestling, hear about Iowa wrestling and all that stuff, and I think a lot of these guys just, they kind of took a back seat.
And Hamida is our Terp of the week. The heavyweight is now 10-0 on the year and is ranked 10th in the nation. Hamida has put up 4 wins over ranked opponents this year and has won by fall 5 times. The junior from New York, a big bright spot for the Terps.
My voice holds more weight now than it has in the past because of some of my success.
Lots of action over the past couple of weeks, but we've narrowed it down to our top plays of the week. And coming in at number 5, Blair Watson drills the 3 against GW. Watson having a good year from downtown.
At number 4, freshman Daryl Morcell flies over the Gardner-Webb defense for a slam.
On to 3, Herter to Cowan to a wide-open Jackson who nails the 3. Nice ball movement here for the Terps.
Number 2, Aisha Small gets the ball down low. Nice move around the defender and makes the nifty reverse layup. Small led all players with 21 points in a win over the Mount.
And for our number 1 play, the explosive Bruno Fernando on a breakaway and soars on the dunk. The freshman fired up yet again. This weekend, the gymnastics team hosted their annual Red vs. Black meet, an opportunity to impress the fans at the beginning of their season. Annabelle Janssens was there to capture all the action.
I'm Annabelle Janssens here at the Xfinity Center where the Terps gymnastics team just held their first scrimmage of the season. Let's check out the highlights. Terps looking to get off to a positive start for the upcoming season with its annual red-black scrimmage on Friday night. The girls start the night on the vault as freshman Audrey Barber sticks her landing, setting the bar high right from the outset. Next up, sophomore Alicia Farina answers with a landing just as impressive. At the bar, junior Shai Agaran flies high with a double flip in full turn. The Terps move on to the beam. Freshman Emily LeBlanc sticks her aerial along with an array of moves on the beam. The Terps dance it out for their final event. Junior Megan McKellen shines on the floor. And finally, sophomore Emma Johnson finishes the night with a bang.
A lot of our lineups are like freshmen, sophomores, so they play a big role, and they did really well today, so I can't wait to see how they're going to grow throughout the rest of the season.
They were, I feel, in some ways really ahead of where we've ever been in the past for December 8th.
The team has some time off before their next meet. Not until 2018 will they be shipping up for the Little Boston Invitational.
After a postseason run, any chance at the national title, field hockey head coach Missy Maharg and her staff are being recognized. The Terps staff has been named the National Field Hockey Coaches Association's Coaching Staff of the Year for the Mid-Atlantic region. Maharg has led the squad over the past 30 seasons. Assistant coaches Katie Bam, Marvin Bam, as well as volunteer assistant coach Stephanie Fee all earned the honor.
After 3 seasons as a Terp, volleyball's Kelsey Wazinski is transferring to Florida State. Wazinski finished her junior season with a team-best 301 digs and at one point leading the Big Ten in digs per set. Wazinski missed 14 matches this season because of an upper body injury. She'll have 1 more year of eligibility as a Seminole.
More transfers out of College Park, these from the football team. Sophomore twin brothers Elijah and Elisha are leaving the program. The Daniels twins did not play much this season, each finishing the year with 1 tackle. The decision was announced a week ago on Twitter. The duo joins Alex Woods and Marquise Bell as defensive backs who are leaving College Park. Another Terps defensive back that will not return in 2018 is J.C. Jackson. Jackson started his career with Florida before transferring to Maryland in the spring of 2015. This year he posted 40 tackles and tied for the team lead with 3 interceptions. He was named a Big Ten honorable mention recipient.
And now an update on your favorite Terps currently in the pros. First, Yannick Ngakoue, just his 2nd year in the NFL, tearing it up for the dominating Jacksonville Jaguars defense. He's currently 6th in the NFL in sacks with 11. Ngakoue's Jags took on the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday, and another Maryland alum made some headlines. Seattle defensive lineman Quinton Jefferson was ejected after a scuffle between the 2 teams, and as Jefferson was leaving the field, you can see some fans throwing drinks at him, nearly hitting him in the head, prompting the lineman to try and scale the stands in rage. After the game, the former Terp addressed the scuffle by saying, quote, "I don't know what I was supposed to do. I'm just a human like anyone else," end quote.
More NFL Terps news. Wide receiver Torrey Smith still going strong with the Philadelphia Eagles. Smith led the team with 6 catches and 100 receiving yards in a 43-35 win over the LA Rams. Smith has 33 receptions for 408 yards on the season. And in the soccer world, Tsubasa Endo is now an MLS champion. Endo, now a member of Toronto FC, part of the team that downed the Seattle Sounders 2-0 on Saturday in the MLS Cup. The electric Endo played 4 years in CP, playing in 85 matches, posting 12 goals and 16 assists.
Balance and footwork are important while playing any sport, but nothing like this. I got to check out a sport that's rolling through the nation. Kian Gorbonbor is an athlete, a soccer player, a runner, and now a log roller.
I didn't even know what this was yesterday.
The Key Log Rolling Tournament rolled into College Park, and it's not just fun and games.
The people that are in it, they take it seriously. When you get up there on that log, it's competitive, so you want to do well.
Abby started Key Log Rolling to popularize the sport in hopes of one day bringing it to the Olympics. Her mother made a mark on the sport herself.
Started log rolling at 12 years old, won 7 world log rolling titles. She taught my siblings and I how to do it, and the rest is history.
17 students from 6 universities came out to outlast their opponent in this tournament.
I'm the only one representing the Terps here. So that helped a lot, actually. Like, you feel it when you're on there.
There's only 2 rules when it comes to the sport. 1 is you can never make contact with your competitor, and 2, you can never cross the center line. competitors were seeded into a single elimination tournament hoping to be the last man standing. Keon impressed as a first-timer, but lost in the second round.
He just got me. I don't know what to say.
And for an athlete like Keon, he got to work on his footwork while becoming part of the log rolling community. The Key Log Rolling Tournament finished its fall tour in College Park after making stops in Missouri and California. UMD students interested in log rolling can go to Epley Recreation Center and try the sport out for themselves.
Did you get to try out the log rolling, Danielle?
I didn't, but I don't know how good I would be. I don't have the best balance, so that might be a bit of a struggle.
Well, I don't think I would have been able to do it. Maybe you could have.
I don't know. I might have to make my way to Epley and find out. But that is the end of this week's episode and the end of the semester for The Left Bench TV. I'm Danielle Stein, and you can keep up with all of our coverage online at theleftbench.com, as well as on our Facebook and Twitters at The Left Bench.
As Danielle said, this is our last show of the semester, but we'll be back in the spring for more. So for now, from College Park, I'm Alex Flum. Thanks for watching.